Hey you guys, this is Jess with Sourceful Journey back with another video. Okay, I wanted to start off this video more so focused on the scripture that is known all over the world. Touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. That is one that, especially in this day and age, people need to start to take seriously. We're talking about those who are spiritually aligned. We talk about those who have a calling when it comes to what they are meant to do within this lifetime and this plane. By the way, for those who are wondering, that's Chronicles 16:22. With that being said, we have to, as a collective, get to a point without writing those type of statements off as something to play with. And then there's a multitude of other verses now that I think about it. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's in Philippians, and it's a few other ones. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but it's very much aligned with the one I just mentioned from Chronicles 16:22. We have to understand that in this day and age, it's important that we don't take that word for being nothing of significance. When it comes to that whole notion of doing unto others as you want for them to do unto you, that whole type of deal. So, in regards to those who are spiritually aligned, who are supposed to take on certain tasks and roles within this day and age, any that choose to try to afflict any type of harm or cause any issues for these individuals, just know you're going to have hell knocking at your door, whether you like it or not. A lot of us who fit into this space, and if you guys look at my videos, actually, you'll hear my backstory in regards to how I fit into this arena as well. A lot of us not really wowed by the titles, but it's just truly more of the passion behind the acts that we do. I think it's the video that I have pinned where I'm wearing a green top. If you guys take a look at it on my page here on TikTok, you'll see I shared my story of how I came to the realization that I was a little unique in my own way. But at the same time, how word was passed on to me by a prophetess within my family church. So apparently she saw it and knew it well before I did. And I officially became aware of it at that point. Just take a look at the video. I give the whole backstory and all of it. I say all this to say, thinking back on a lot of the experiences I had coming up as a kid, not only into the spiritual context as far as that whole thing. I don't want to scare people with some of the stories because there's a lot more that I can share. I can literally write a book on this stuff, but I've shared a few stories in my videos down below, but I won't bog you guys down with it too much in this video. I don't want to make it too long, but take a look at some of my videos down below. You'll see I shared a few stories, and there's plenty more. If you guys are open to hearing those type of stories, and it doesn't scare you, especially those who understand the whole idea of mediumship and having those capabilities, having those extra senses, if you will. And for a lot of us who have all the clears, that type of deal, like literally all the clears, I have since we were much younger and it's just like intensified for a lot of us as we got older, actually. But a lot of times we don't talk about it because it freaks people out. And so I'm very selective about some of the stuff I put out here to you guys, because I just don't want to freak you guys out. But I've now gotten to a point in my adult years where I feel comfortable about sharing my experiences from when I was a little girl all the way up now to my adult years, which now it's been heavily intensified once I hit my adult years. The whole point is, I noticed in times in past where I felt like I was being, not put to the side, but I was kind of like being singled out. That's what I wanted to say. And sometimes you experience that quite heavily, especially in your schooling years, like high school as an example. And I never quite understood why. A lot of times looking back on those experiences, I think of it kind of like that movie, what was it called? Carrie. Like if you think about that movie called Carrie, where that girl was kind of like to herself in some way or another. Really didn't bother anyone, but for some reason, people found some way or another to want to try to antagonize her till she had it, and all hell broke loose. I wouldn't say I was that bad in terms of the results that followed when people did that to me, but let's just say it was bad enough where I knew there were other forces behind me that most people can see with their natural eye that was doing something that caused those things to happen after the fact. So I wasn't completely oblivious to what was going on there. And as time progressed on, I started piecing it together. Then I realized, like, okay, there's something a lot deeper that's going on. And at that point, it was right around that time when the prophetess of our church had then gave me that detail in the video that I shared with you guys, that where I'm wearing the green top that I have pinned. That's when I started to realize, like, okay, now it makes sense why when stuff like that happens, why the after effects will be just that towards those people because of the act that they've done towards me. It's kind of hard not to make this video too long. I could do a part 2 maybe if you guys would like to hear it. But it just goes to say that, again, to make long story short, in this day and age, you guys, we got to start taking it serious. Start taking it serious. Because if you don't, you have to deal with the ramifications to follow. But it's no one else is doing but your own, as I say in a lot of my videos. And a lot of times, as I mentioned in one of my more recent videos, and even some of my older videos, now that I think about it, I've shared this with you guys. A lot of times when we keep ourselves distant from you, it's because we know that if you are actually stepping up to us with any ill intentions, and we can feel that, we know that from the jump, especially a lot of us who have the clears, all clears, if you will. If we sense that you're not on the up and up, we know chances are, of course, us being spiritual beings having a human experience, they're picking up on it too. In terms of the spiritual space, they pick up on it quicker than we do here in the physical. So we know that if you are on that nonsense, they're going to take care of you in the worst way. So it's best to play nice, and if you can't come correct, don't come at all. I'm going to go ahead and do a part 2 on this video, so be on the lookout for it. See you in the next clip.